What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Be Modified YouTube channel. Now I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. I apologize for that, guys, but I'm pretty sure you guys can understand when I say that, you know, when you're a homeowner and you just have like this endless list of things that just keeps piling up and piling up, especially when you have a fiance, soon to be bride. You know, they always just have this endless list, but I mean, I make a list for myself too. It's all good, but yeah, I had to take a break from the truck for a little while, get a few things wrapped up in the house, but now we can get back to working on this Sonoma right here. And man, I already got some work done, caught up on some things that you guys didn't really need to see because it was just some stuff that you've pretty much already seen me do. So I'm gonna pop the hood on this truck and get you guys up to speed on what I got done. If I show you guys my custom hood popping mechanism here, the latch broke off of the cable right there. So I just got these bad boys on there and boom, there we go. This popped open. All right, so check that out, guys. See that wire coming through over to here? And it also goes down and plugs into the fuse box right there. Yeah, buddy. That's right. I got that bad boy installed. I'm gonna show you guys the interior. Let's check it out, guys. I already put the carpet back in. I had to take the seat out because right here there's the it's like the it's the airbag like safety switch, like the control module for it, I guess, and the wire plugs in right on the back of it and it runs all through the carpet right here, and then it comes up right there all the way up to where that wire loom is, right in there. And then that's where it also goes through the firewall, and I had to plug it into this, and it goes all the way up underneath all of that, and it goes over there to that corner and plugs into all that stuff up there. But as you guys can see, I went ahead and got that bad boy swapped out, so we're all good there. Now we can go ahead and start focusing on getting this dash back in, which I'm probably gonna throw you guys on a time lapse because you guys have already seen me do that. We're just gonna throw it back in real quick. But for those of you that don't know how to do it or didn't see me do it, I'm just going to show you guys real quick how easy it actually is to put the dash in or take it out of this truck. So once you get the dash in place, on either side of the dash it's got these metal tabs. Well, they're brackets, but they have these hooks on them. They'll hook onto this little tab right here sticking out, and then there's one over there on the passenger side too. And then you can see that they have these tabs right here for like where the bolt goes in to hold the bottom of the dash on. And then you see on either side of the steering wheel here, there's this bracket, and there's one on the other side exactly like it. So I also have these brackets right here. There's two of them. That's what goes right there. It hooks onto that. You bolt it in, and when the dash is in, this side bolts to the bottom of the dash on both sides of the steering wheel. And then of course you got to plug this into the dash, which goes into the fuse box that is on the dash itself. And then like over here you got to plug a couple things in to the dash. This is the antenna for the radio. You have to have that plugged back in, which is for the airbag. There's a big plug in there, another little one here, and but basically, like I was saying, let me get this back up out of the way so it's not flopping everywhere. But like I was saying, on the dash it has these hooks that hook here, so that once you get it in the truck, you get it hooked onto these so that it can rest there, and then you rock it forward on those, and then all these bolts up here go in the dash to hold it where it sits in place, rocked all the way forward. And once you get all those in, you can come back down and put these two bottom bolts in, and then you're pretty much ready to roll. Because before you rock the dash forward to put the top bolts in, you have to plug everything in, because you got to be able to get your arm back behind it all. So I'm gonna go show you guys those plates on the dash if you don't know what I'm talking about, so that you guys will get an understanding as to what I'm telling you. All right, guys, so right here on the bottom of the dash are these plates right here. You can see that thing right there. That's what hooks onto that little pin sticking out. And then right here is where the bolt would go through once it rocks forward and sits on that bolt tab sticking out of there. And then over here on the other side, same thing. That one hooks on. You can see it rocks forward with that bad boy right there. And then the bolt just goes down. Oh, on this one it goes on the inside right there. You can see it back in there. To be honest with you guys, this dash isn't really that heavy. It's just awkward because all the weight's on one end of it, and it makes it kind of awkward trying to stick it through the one. So you gotta like stick it through one door all the way over to the other side. and it's a hard thing to do by yourself, but I can do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it today. You guys are gonna watch me do it here in just a minute. So I'm gonna get this dash thrown back on, have you guys on time lapse for it because you've seen me do it once before. We're gonna bust it out real quick again, one last time hopefully. And then you see that engine back there, right there on that engine stand. We're gonna start messing with that bad boy today. I actually think I'm gonna take the front clip off. That way it's way easier to just put the engine straight in instead of coming down at an angle. Because the reason I think it's gonna be way easier to do that is because I wanna put the engine and transmission in as a one piece. That way I'm not laying under the truck trying to bolt the tranny to the truck, or bolt the tranny to the engine. You guys know how much of a nightmare that can be trying to line them up underneath there. It sucks. So I don't want to do that. Probably going to tear the front clip back off, make things way easier, probably a lot faster. So with that being said, let's get this video rolling. Well guys, I just got done telling you right before we did this, and then I made the mistake. I rocked the dash forward and started securing it before I plugged anything in. So now I gotta unsecure it, rock it back, plug everything in, and then we can continue. Let's get it. Guys, so GoPro died on me in the middle of things, but I went ahead and finished installing all the interior, as you can see, while the GoPro was on the charger. But it's all done. I cleaned it up real good with some of my interior cleaner, and I put this steering wheel on for now. I know it's not straight, but you know, once we get it in the alignment shop, once it's running and driving, we'll get that fixed. And for those of you that have seen the previous videos, I do have a stock steering wheel that I pulled off of a parts truck, but I didn't realize that there's a part behind the steering wheel here that needs to be there that I couldn't get off of the parts truck. I took the other steering wheel off, so I'm unable to put my factory steering wheel on right now. But that's okay, guys, because everything is pretty well buttoned up in here. Get this back door open. So all we have left to do now is to get a system built and a box built in the back of the truck. Right now we just got a bunch of junk back there, but we'll get that taken care of. I'm not really too worried about that yet. That's going to be towards the end. But yeah, now that we got all this finished up, we're going to go ahead, jump in the garage, and start working on that engine. Alright y'all, so here it is. The stock 2.2 liter for that GMC Sonoma sitting in the driveway. I know it's kind of dirty, and I really don't plan on cleaning it up too much because it's going to be pretty well covered up once it's in the truck. And for the year of this thing, and it's got 100,000 miles on it, I'm kind of worried to clean some of that grease off, because you never know what kind of oil leaks and such you might end up with after doing that. Once it's all installed in the truck, I might give it a nice spray down and wash it like that, just to make it look pretty good. But as for now, we're going to go ahead and start changing out spark plugs, wires, and we're going to give this thing an oil change. because as you can see right here, I have all of that. I also had to get some new motor mounts for it that bolt to the motor, because we're missing the one on this side. It's supposed to go right there. And then over here on the passenger side, we have this one. It's kind of dark right there. Let me get you guys a different angle. See this one right here? The rubber grommet on the inside of there is just completely cracked away. So I went ahead and bought a new one for this side as well. That's what's in the two black boxes there. And of course, oil filter there. The proper stuff for our spark plugs and wires. We got our spark plugs, wires, and our oil. And that right there in the brown box is actually a transmission filter for our automatic transmission sitting right there. But I really don't have any way to pick that thing up right now off the floor to be able to change that, because you have to drop the pan on the bottom. So I'm probably going to wait until it's installed in the truck to do that. Also, as I was putting the interior back in the truck, I realized that I still have to buy a shifter cable, because the shifter cable comes down off the steering column and it goes through the floorboard down out the bottom of the truck, and it connects to the transmission here. But when somebody pulled the transmission off that truck and everything else, they just cut everything off right where it connected to whatever they pulled off the truck, which is a freaking nightmare. But I'm gonna get a new shifter cable so that we can get all that taken care of. So yeah, like I said, let's go ahead, start jumping into pulling these spark plugs off and give this thing an oil change. And then after that, we'll come over here. You can see right here, I've got to sort out some of this stuff. We got some radiator hoses that won't go on just yet. And there's like my fuel lines here. They're gonna have to go on the truck before we get the engine back in. So there's a couple things here that we're gonna have to mess with. But mainly, we're just gonna finish this video off with getting the motor ready. So obviously the first thing that we're gonna do here is I am going to get my oil pan over here so we can go ahead and start letting the oil drain out of this thing while we're working on the spark plugs. Looks like we want maybe a 9/16. It's probably metric. What am I thinking? Get my toolbox out of here. I'm gonna guess either 13 or 14. Whoa, maybe it's a 15. I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight to the 15. And I was right. Okay. Time to give this baby an oil change. Wow, that wasn't even very tight. Alright, well, what do you guys think? Is it gonna make it? Ooh, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh god. Okay, maybe that's good. Maybe that'll be okay. Hopefully. Yeah, that should be enough. Also, the motor made a mess back here when it was sitting back here. Just squish that around in there. Over here, I'm gonna spread this stuff out real good. Oh yeah. Oh, of course I got it on my hand. Oh well. Alright, so now that we got that mess taken care of, now it's time to get that oil filter off. Hopefully, shoot. There we go. Let's get this off of here. Shoot. You know what? I think I'm just gonna have to move this down and let that drip into that kitty litter so that we can have this over the oil filter. Looks like we need to spread this out a little better. There we go. All right, time to remove the oil filter. And it's nice doing this without the engine being in the truck. It's so easy to access everything. I think it doesn't look too bad. Sweet. Okay, now up top here, let's go ahead and open this up. Let it breathe even more. Okay, so we'll just let that drain out while we're working on our spark plugs and wires. We'll just go ahead and pull these off. Pop goes the weasel. God dang. If you ain't got small hands, I feel bad for people working on this. especially with it in the truck. And them suckers got some grip to them now. They've been in there a while, that's for sure. Huh. Yeah, I guess it doesn't look terrible. She definitely been in there a while. Man, these suckers are tight. I mean, they don't look too old, but holy moly, somebody must not have put any anti-seize on them or something. That's alright, we're getting it. Now that we got those out, we can go ahead and go back in with our new spark plugs, but we need to make sure we gap them right. Alright. I don't remember what they're supposed to be at, so I'm just going to check these ones that came out of it. And they probably are pretty close. Let's see, under the hood it says 60, which is a little big. Hayes book says 45. I agree, 60 seems big. Those ones looked like they were roughly 40. So I'm going to go about 40, 45. Okay, that one looks pretty good. Okay, that one's pretty good. That one's good. Alright, that one's good. Okay, now, before I forget, we better grab some of this anti-seize. There we go, just a little bit. They always give you like, it's a little package, but it's always way more than you need. I'm spinning it backwards trying to get it to drop in exactly where it needs to be so we don't cross-thread it or anything. And I can't feel it very easily. There we go. I think we're really not going to be doing too much more to this engine other than these spark plugs, wires, and oil change, because everything else can pretty much be handled once the engine's back in the truck. A lot of these wire connections on here, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out because, like I was saying, a lot of these plugins are still plugged into what they're supposed to be. They just chopped it off from the main wire loom, which I have right over there. That one there should be all of this. So I'm probably going to wait to put most things back on the engine until we put the engine in the truck, which is probably going to be in the next video or two. So you guys might want to turn on your post notifications, because I know it's been a minute since I've been on, but I just had to get a few more house projects out of the way, and now we can get back to rocking and rolling on this bad boy. I gotta tell you guys, I'm super excited because, as you all know, I sold the SS probably like, I don't know how, probably maybe like 4 or 5 months ago now. And since I sold the SS, I have not had my own vehicle to drive. If I want to go anywhere, I gotta wait for the fiance to get off work, or just take her to work and have her vehicle. And then I'm stuck picking her up from work, which isn't bad, but that means I gotta cut my project short. I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand how frustrating that can get, because it definitely takes up a lot of time. But it is what it is. We're dealing with it. We're making it work, and it's just gonna work out. And we're gonna have this truck back together pretty quick. Man. Well, I wish I still had the Stang and be out ripping with those guys. Nah, it's all good. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do here is, I believe this guy right here isn't even hooked up. Like I was saying, it's cut off from wherever it was supposed to go, but that's okay. It's gonna make it kind of easy for me to figure out where the other wire loom's supposed to wrap all around to. But this is what we're after right here, is changing out these plug wires. So I'm gonna do them one at a time. Here we go. Yeah, oh man, check that out. They're even light gray like the interior on the truck. What? That's what I'm talking about. Shoot, it's about to go down, boys. Now we got one final one. fourth and final one. Oh, come on. Get up in there. All right, it clicked in. Looks like this is done dripping, so we're gonna go ahead and reinstall everything. Wipe it up real nice and clean. We're gonna fill this filter up before it goes on the truck. All right, so now that that's pretty much full, get that oil on that O-ring right there. That way it seals up nice and good. Ready, set, go. Oh, there we go. Do it fast enough, it won't really do all that leaking bull crap. I mean, we lost a little tiny bit, but nothing to be worried about. All right, guys. So we got our plugs and wires changed out, got our oil changed, new filter on. I've decided that we're gonna wait to change the tranny filter and the fluid on it until it's in the truck, because then it'll be easier to crawl underneath it. We ain't gotta try to pick it up off the ground with that cherry picker, which could be a total nightmare. I don't wanna mess with that. Oh yeah, we gotta get the motor mounts on. Time to get this bad boy done. There we go, guys. Got my motor mounts on, spark plugs, spark plug wires, oil's changed. And a lot of this stuff, like I said, all these wire connections are gonna get sorted out once the motor's in the truck and we're putting that wiring harness on. Like right here's where the AC compressor sits at. That's not gonna be a big deal. I'm gonna end up taking this off and putting the one on that's sitting inside the truck. I believe I don't have to take the bracket off. You see where you can spin this wheel and there's these bolts here? There's 1, 2, and the third one is down there on the bottom. I believe those are the only bolts holding that thing on. Hopefully I can take it off once I unbolt that. I'm not 100% sure, but if anything, I might have to take this bracket off too, but that won't be that bad of a deal. Either way, I'm gonna take that off and go with the one that's already on the truck. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, actually I am, because right here it's busted. You see that? Yeah, we're gonna have to swap it out for the one that's on the truck, because I'm pretty sure it's good. That's probably gonna wrap it up for this video, you guys. I know we didn't do a whole lot, but we're basically ready to pull the front core support off of that truck right there and start getting this engine and that transmission stabbed in the truck, which is freaking awesome, because that means that we are like super close. Man, there's flies all over the place. God. Anyway, that means that we are super close to having this thing running and going down the road. Once we get the motor and trans in, we obviously are gonna do like the fuel tank. Still got that to do, shocks. I'm gonna be ordering some drop spindles within the next week to drop the front end down, so that's gonna be really awesome. But like I said, we're gonna cut this video short right now because I need to get some things done like dinner, and I also have one more project that I want to try to get done on the truck tonight because I'm dying to see how it looks with this done. So turn on your post notifications, guys, because the next video is coming real quick. It's actually, like I just said, I'm cutting this video a little short because I want to get on to the next project before we go sticking that engine, well, that one right there, before we go sticking that engine in the Sonoma. I want to do something else to the truck that I'm sure you guys have caught a glimpse of already in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. See those tires right there? Yeah, that's right. We got a new setup for the Sonoma because I really just don't like the way the ones look that we painted. I know it doesn't look terrible, but I really don't like how dark they turned out. I never really did like these rims in the first place. And so I got another set sitting over there. The next video, which is what I'm about to start on, we're gonna repolish them and get them put on this truck. And then I gotta wash this thing because I'm sure you guys can tell it's got all kinds of nasty crap sitting all over it from the 4th of July, fireworks flying through the air and stuff. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna get started on this bad boy for the next video. That being said, thank you guys so much for stopping in. Ring that bell, like I said, next video coming ASAP. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And just like that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.